legislation. Today we're joined by a number of bill sponsors and representatives from small businesses and industries that have really been hit hard and continue to be hit hard. And that includes restaurants and fitness and sports centers and arts and culture organizations. These are the kinds of businesses that are suffering across the entire world right now. And we are honored that in Colorado, we can hopefully just make it a little bit less hard. It's still hard. We need national help. We need the pandemic to end. The vaccination's on the way. But in the meantime, we are so proud that our state legislature is doing what they can do within the realm of the possible, right? They say that politics is the art of the possible, right? It's not what is impossible to do. Uh, wouldn't it be nice? And the pandemic now and go back to normal. We don't have the ability to do that. Billions and billions of dollars. We don't have the ability to do that. But we've done what we can. We've done what we can as a state to help our small businesses, and I'll be signing the bill in just a few moments. We're joined by County Commissioners Emma Pinter from Adams County, Thomas Davidson from Summit County, our great treasurer, Dave Young, several members of our cabinet, including Betsy Markey from the Office of Economic Development and International Trade, who helps attract businesses to our state, grow jobs, Rick Garcia from Department of Labor, and Joe Barella from Department of Labor and Employment. These are all critical departments to implementing these bills. And we know that many small businesses and their employees have really been impacted in so many ways by this pandemic. Some, of course, have had their own health and their loved ones' health impacted, as I have. Others has impacted their jobs, their friends, certainly their social life, mental health. It's a tough time. But you know what? This overwhelming vote of support for our small businesses and this bill that we're signing today really shows that the state understands that it is our small businesses that help define the culture of our communities and our main streets. Without them, we really lose part of our identity and who we are, above and beyond the jobs, which are absolutely critical for putting food on the table for families and as our main engine of economic growth. We're going to continue to do everything we can to provide support for all of our small businesses during this challenging time. This bill we're signing today is really an important lifeline for small businesses, and we know it's not enough to see them through the end of the pandemic. We look forward to working with the federal government for additional support. But before we sign the very first bill, I'd like to turn it over to Diane Primavera, our Lieutenant Governor. Diane? Okay, if she's not on, I'm going to give the overview of the first bill that we're going to sign, which we are very, very excited about. This first bill has many essential components that go towards supporting small businesses, arts, culture in Colorado. Really a lot of components in one. And in a moment, you'll hear from some of the legislative sponsors. Three major components: 37 million in direct aid for small businesses that will go directly out to help them. $6.7 million in waiving licensing fees for restaurants and bars. Okay, so normally, if you're a restaurant or bar in our state, you have to pay an annual fee. They won't have to pay it next year. It'll be waived, and the legislature will, in effect, cash fund that account. They will fund the account that's normally paid with fees, so that the fees don't have to be passed along to all the small business owners across the state. It's a lot of money. It's like $1,500 for a liquor license. $7.5 million for arts and cultural organizations. We know that they've been hit hard as well through the Colorado Creative Industries that's administered. So proud of for the Minority Business Strategic Fund to provide direct grant relief and loans to minority-owned businesses. This is really about building back stronger, right? We don't just want to build back, and we do. We want to build back stronger and more equitably. And this will be a powerful tool to do that. So I'm proud that we're taking immediate action to help small businesses. The 37 million in direct payments will be allocated to businesses as soon as mid-January, about 1 month from now, very soon. The bill has eligibility for new businesses that started in January too. And I know a number of folks who, without knowing the pandemic was coming, they put everything on the line and started a business last January. And so we wanted to make sure that they were included too. Department of Local Affairs is working closely with OEDIT to creating the unified application. There we mentioned the licensing fee relief, the help for music and theater and dance venues and arts organizations. The arts aren't just about entertainment, of course, they're about our culture. They're about who we are as Coloradans. And it's really wonderful that the legislature stepped up with $7.5 million, which will really make the difference in this very survival of some of our thriving cultural and artistic organizations. The bill also creates the Minority Business Office Strategic Fund, which will increase outreach and build capacity, work with state and local minority chambers, really help make sure that we build back more equitably than before, and are able to make great progress for our minority and women-owned businesses. So thank you to Senators Winter, Priola, Representative Herod, Representative Sandridge, for all of your hard work, for rising to the occasion of bipartisanship, the call of the moment, of doing what we can, of recognizing politics as the art of the possible, and doing what's possible. And just moments from now, after our wonderful sponsors have spoken, we are going to sign the bill into law. And if Senator Winter is with us, we can begin with Senator Winter. Senator Winter.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Governor. Good to see everyone virtually. I'm very excited to have this bill signed today and for all the hard work that went into it. Ultimately, our small businesses and our cultural organizations are the backbones of our communities. And right now is really trying. And we have seen both the counties and the businesses work really hard to slow the spread of COVID by making hard decisions and reducing capacity. And our businesses are working hard to follow the rules and stay in business. And I'm happy that we can give them some direct relief immediately. And with our partners, both our nonprofit partners and our county partners, ultimately we chose those stakeholders to distribute the money because they have the on-the-ground relationships to get the money out as quickly as possible. And so we know that this is not enough. This is not going to save every business. We just simply don't have those resources. But with the federal government's continued inaction, it was really important for us to come together in a bipartisan way and do everything we possibly could, spend the resources that we do have available, and use the tools that we do have available to get as much immediate relief out as fast as possible. So thank you to Coloradans for working hard to stop spreading the coronavirus, and thank you to all our businesses that are partners in that, and I hope that this helps. Thank you.
Okay, Representative Herod, thank you.
Thank you so much, Governor. Thank you, Senator Winter, and Governor, and to the first gentleman. I wish you a speedy recovery from COVID, and my heart, my prayers are with you both. I'm State Representative Leslie Herod. I represent House District 8 in Central and Northeast Denver, where we have a vibrant, creative culture in my district and also throughout the state of Colorado. Listen, we are in really tough times right now. Our small businesses are struggling. And as much as we are doing as Coloradans to try to support our small businesses, we know it's not enough. Yes, we're doing takeout. Yes, we're making sure that we are frequenting our organizations and businesses, but we have to do more. This bill will provide immediate relief to small businesses who need the support right now, those who are most affected by the shutdown. And additionally, we are providing support for our cultural venues that are so important, and our artists who have not been able to work and thrive through this shutdown. I'm so proud to say that Senate Bill 1 is taking a shot at making sure that our cultural venues stay open. I was so sad to hear about El Chapultepec closing, a Denver establishment, a Denver tradition closing. We cannot let that continue to happen, which is why small venues, independent venues are prioritized in this bill. Culture is a part of our way of life in Colorado, and it's imperative that we ensure that these venues don't shut down or shut up forever, and they have a way to come back and come back strong. I'm also so proud to say that we have included specific funding for minority-owned businesses. We know that the pandemic has not affected people of color in the same way. We know that there are disproportionate outcomes for people of color. There are also disproportionate poor outcomes for small businesses owned by people of color. We've got to do something about it. The governor's office is taking the lead to ensure that we have funding for our small businesses to stay open, to ensure that the mechanisms are there to get them the support that they were so much left behind during the PPP. And again, I'm just so proud to see a bill that is as comprehensive as this to build back Colorado strong and to keep our small businesses and our cultural venues around for when we recover from this pandemic. But as was said, it is not enough. There is so much more that we need, and the federal government needs to come in and act today. We need that support. So to the small businesses, I say, please stay open, don't shutter. Support is coming. But also reach out to your federal delegation and say, we demand you guys to come with a compromise so that Colorado has the funding that we need. That is imperative. So I want to thank the governor and his team for taking action right away, allowing the conversation to happen about what support we can have in Colorado right now. And I know that we'll be doing so much more together in partnership to address the needs of Coloradans. So thank you so much, Governor. I look forward to this bill becoming a law.
Thank you, Representative Herod. And we're also joined by Betsy Markey, the Executive Director of the Office of Economic Development and International Trade. Betsy?
Yes, good morning, Governor and everyone. And thank you, Representative Herod and Representative Sandridge, and also Senators Winter and Priola for championing this very important bill. Funding for arts and cultural organizations and individual artists is a much needed lifeline for our creative class whose work has been sidelined since the pandemic began. Now, Colorado is the #1 state in the country for arts participation, and this industry has a huge economic impact for the state, with nearly $32 billion in sales of goods and services in 2019 alone. And we know that the industry's survival is critical to not just securing a speedy economic recovery, but ensuring that Colorado continues to be a great place to visit, to live, and to work. We're also excited about the funding for the Minority Business Office to provide relief to minority-owned businesses to weather the economic downturn. This funding will create the basis to create both long and short-term funding through minority businesses, through grant and loan programs, and also ongoing technical support for these businesses. Evidence shows that minority-owned businesses have been disproportionately impacted by COVID-19, due in part to longstanding inequities and their ability to access capital. In the coming days, our audit will be working to ensure that all Coloradans know how to access these relief dollars. And in the meantime, if you want information on updates, you can go to choosecolorado.com/COVID-19. And I want to thank the General Assembly and Governor Polis again for this very important bill.
Thank you, Betsy. I think we're joined by Commissioner Thomas Davidson from Summit County. Thomas?
Hi, Governor. Thank you so much for this bill today. Our community was hit hard by this, and you know our community well, serving as our congressman for many years. It was really tough to shut this whole place down this last March, and it was really tough to have to return to red levels and shut our restaurants down again. Given the current viral loads and transmissions in Summit County, it was the only responsible thing to do. And so this assistance is so very important for our restaurants and our gyms and the businesses that simply cannot safely be open right now. I want to especially thank Senators Winter and Priola and Reps Herod and Sandridge. Didn't know I was going to spend Thanksgiving weekend with Faith and Leslie, but it was well worth the effort. I appreciate the bill so very much, and I'm looking forward to seeing it become law. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Emma Pinter from Adams County. Emma?
Hi, thank you for that. And Commissioner Davidson called it out correctly. We did not know that this is how we were going to spend Thanksgiving week, reaching out to our colleagues in counties across Colorado who have been hearing week in and week out from the small businesses in their community how much this pandemic has devastated them. Thank you, Governor Polis, for this important bill. This package of bills from this special session is so important. This very Colorado package wouldn't be complete without the Small Business Assistance and Minority Business Strategic Fund, and also support of the arts that have been included here in this particular bill. Our small businesses, as everyone else has mentioned, have been hit really hard, especially the categories called out in this bill. Thank you to Senators Winter, Priola, Representatives Herod, and Sandridge. This bill could not come at a more important time. Dr. Fauci has started saying this phrase, and it rings in my ears, that we could be facing a surge upon a surge. Our hospital systems are already strained. Our community resiliency, it's already strained. This is much needed relief, and it's needed right now. As was called out by Representative Herod, we need federal relief, and we need it now. I am so proud of Colorado, of standing strong and putting together this relief package. On top of this critical relief, I would urge everyone who is listening to call your favorite restaurant, call them up directly and order for them, and let them know that you support them. And if you love that restaurant, order for them so they will be around next year while we are putting together these relief packages and waiting for the federal government. I am so proud that we are standing Colorado strong together.
Thank you, Emma, for your eloquent words. I think we either have Andy Klosterman or Jeremy Bronson. Do we have one of the two with us?
Yes, good morning. Hi, I'm Jeremy Bronson, and I'm with the Colorado Event Alliance, which is an organization that was formed after the pandemic began to support the employees of the special events industry. We've realized how important it is for those employees to have a voice as policy is formed. We'd like to thank you, Governor, and the leadership of the legislature for their work in investing in small businesses with this relief package. It's a ray of sunshine in a cloudy time for us. We do want to be sure that the many business types that make up our very creative industry are covered clearly by the definition of arts as the relief is allocated. And we just want to call attention to the fact that some industries have been severely affected across the board, not just 20%, but upwards of 70 or 80%. Ultimately, the measure of success of a relief effort like this is whether the money goes to where it's needed most. So thank you again for recognizing the special events industry as part of this effort. We look forward to continuing our partnership with state and local government moving forward, including collaborating on clear reopening standards once conditions improve next year. Thanks so much.
Thank you. And with that, I will sign the bill. Make sure I got the right bill here. SB 20B001. This is the first special session bill as governor that I've signed. Okay, I'll do it. How are we going to do that? Okay, we'll do it like this. Here we go. Can we see it? Okay. Here we go. And it's now an official law of Colorado. Congratulations. This next bill is HB 20B1004, Qualified Retailer Retained Sales Tax Assistance. This one is notable, and the Denver Post kind of pointed it out in an op-ed. They said, how can we make sure that this money will get to where it's needed soon enough? In the other bill, all the money has to go out by, I think, mid-February, and the application's in about a month. It's super quick. This one, for many restaurants that benefit from it, it's actually money they already have in a bank account that they've already collected that after I sign this, they could actually use versus it being only in custody for the state. So basically when restaurants do business, they collect a 2.9% sales tax. They're not allowed to spend that money. It sits in a custodial account. They pay it to the state a month later. What this bill does is basically say, guess what? The money you've already collected up to $2,000 for November, you can keep $2,000 and then $2,000 a month the next few months. So it also applies to bars and food trucks and vintners. So basically the total value of it is up to $8,000. That would be for kind of a medium-sized restaurant, others $4,000 or $5,000. But most notably, it's money that they've already collected that will be freed for them $1,000, $2,000 right when I sign this signature. That can be the difference between payroll and rent and staying open for so many restaurants. We issued an executive order extending the payment deadline. This allowed them to retain that temporarily. Now with this bill, the businesses can permanently keep the funds and use that money to stay open, the first up to 2,000 of which they've actually already collected. So we're so grateful for the legislature and coming through for what is truly not only one of Colorado's great sources of employment, our restaurants, but they're also of important cultural significance, important significance to our downtown ecosystems, and just an important part of who we are. So we are proud to be joined by many of the sponsors, and we'll begin with Representative Alex Valdez. Representative Valdez.
Well, thank you, Mr. Governor. It's an honor to be here today, and I'd like to second the sentiments that my thoughts and prayers with you and the first gentleman for a quick and speedy recovery. There really isn't any corner of Colorado that has not been touched by this awful contagion. And as we have seen, our restaurants and bars have been, hard hit more than almost any other type of business, as they have had capacity reductions and just a general downturn in their business. As the governor said, this bill provides immediate relief, which we know is important to these businesses because they're looking to adapt to the new normal that we find ourselves living in. So we talked to many restaurant owners who said that, amongst other things, they're going to use this money right away to buy heaters and equipment that they need to kind of adapt their facilities to be ready for a return to in-person dining. So we know that we're going to have an effect here. As a small business owner, I can speak to the fact that this is the time of year where something like this has the most effect. And so we're really excited that we were able to work. And I'll say that as well. This bill was as bipartisan a bill as I've ever worked on in the building. And enough cannot be said about the work that was done on to make sure that this got through quickly. And it just really was a remarkable opportunity to work together to help all of Colorado's businesses to get through this rough time. So want to thank everybody who was key in bringing this together. Thank you, Governor, for signing it today. And I know others have said it, and I will echo it, that we really need the federal government to step up and provide some real aid to these businesses. But for the time being, I think that this bill shows proof that we are doing what we can as a state legislature and as an executive. So thank you very much, Governor.
Thank you, Alex. And I don't believe Representative Van Winkle or Senator Bridges are with us. They want to convey their regards, but Senator Tate is with us. And thank you for joining us and being a co-lead of this bill. Senator Tate, turn it over to you.
Thank you, Governor. Good morning. And I just want to say thank you to my colleagues for inviting me to join in this effort. I really appreciate this particular bill because it provides really, really meaningful relief to the businesses it's targeting. When you think about how so many of these businesses operating on low operating margins, and so their ability to keep what would normally be remitted to the state in terms of sales and use tax is really going to help them in a very powerful way. Now, maybe in different economic times, this bill would be one to spur additional investment, new capital investments. But as we know, we're just trying to keep businesses going, keep the pilot light burning. And I just want to thank you, Governor, and thank you to my colleagues for making this legislation a priority. Obviously, in terms of a sales and use tax holiday, businesses have to have revenue to take advantage of it. And I know everyone in the General Assembly joins you, Governor, in getting businesses reopening and in a safe way so we can all have jobs and it's a downright good 2021.
Thank you, Jack. And as Jack pointed out, this continues into 2021. So it's for November, which already happened, and that money is instantly freed up. December, January, and February. So thank you for including that. We are joined by Sonia Riggs from the Colorado Restaurant Association. Thank you for joining us, Sonia, and for all of your hard work with your members to get these through and get through this challenging time. Sonia?
Thank you so much, Governor. Also, my chair-elect, Beth Gruich with Crafted Concepts, owns several restaurants in Denver and has joined me here as well today. We'd like to thank the bill sponsors, Representatives Valdez and Van Winkle, and Senators Bridges and Tate, as well as you, Governor Polis, for proposing this legislation. Restaurants have been devastated these past 9 months. They've had to lay off tens of thousands of employees. They've lost billions of dollars in revenue this year, and sadly, a number have closed permanently. In a recent survey we conducted, 1 in 4 restaurants told us they will have to consider closing permanently within 1 month with the closure of indoor dining. I've heard from many, many restaurants that they are extremely concerned about how they are going to make it through the winter. Programs like this are one step towards helping these restaurants survive just a little bit longer until we can get restaurants opened back up and get meaningful relief at the federal level. We are appreciative to our state leaders for understanding that this industry desperately needs support. I hope that the state legislature will continue to remember this industry in the coming general session as well. Thank you so much, Governor.
Thank you. And did you say you have somebody else with you there, Sonia?
Well, our chairman-elect of the board, Beth Gruich, is here, but she was just going to wave and I think show her support. So thank you very much.
Great. Well, thank you for becoming the chairman-elect in the most challenging time your industry has ever faced. We'll look forward to working with you to make sure we can have a return to a vibrant restaurant scene and industry in our state. We're also joined by Stephanie Franson from the Tavern League. Stephanie? Stephanie, are you with us? Okay, maybe not.
Oh, yep. Sorry,
Okay.
I was on mute. Sorry about that. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Governor Polis, for the opportunity to speak on behalf of House Bill 1004. Obviously, thank you so much to all the bill sponsors as well. This bill will be one piece of the much needed relief puzzle to the businesses that have been able to stay open in some form or fashion during the pandemic. I do echo Senator Tate's comments that for traditional bars that have been unable to stay open, Senate Bill 1 is the most beneficial in providing the direct aid, as they have had to close completely in order to comply. However, on behalf of the craft wine industry, we are very, very appreciative of the sponsors for including both limited and manufacturing winery sales rooms in both bills, actually. The craft community in Colorado has been hit extremely hard, and we applaud the efforts of all the sponsors to be as inclusive as possible in providing relief both with Senate Bill 1 and House Bill 1004. So thank you very much.
Great. Okay, let's get this signed, because the sooner we sign this, the sooner it'll free up the up to $2,000 per restaurant and bar that they already have. So that's important. Let me go do that. Let me make sure. Okay, here we go. It's official. Congratulations. That money will now be freed up to pay staff and rent and continue for the next 4 months. So we do have one additional bill to sign here today, a very important one, also to the benefit of our restaurants in particular. This bill allows municipalities, counties to limit the fee that third-party food delivery services can charge to a restaurant. And by the way, for those of you who want to support our local restaurants, please order in and take out. And it actually benefits the restaurant more if you do take out, but I know you can't always necessarily get there in your car. So takeout is even better, but ordering in is also great. We, of course, do a lot of that as a family, and it's a great way to help keep your local restaurants, get them through this difficult time. This makes sure that municipalities and counties have the tools they need to make sure that delivery services are giving restaurants a fair deal, and that limiting the fees can help restaurants have the resources to keep their staff and make their payroll. So really, I want to thank Representative Byrd, Senator Rodriguez, and Senator Tate for their really important bipartisan work on this. And we'll begin with Representative Byrd.
Thank you so much, Governor. And I'm going to echo my colleagues before I say anything else, and wishing Marlon a speedy recovery, the first gentleman, and hope you both are well. Thank you so much for partnering with us in making this bill a law. We know that through the pandemic, our restaurants have had restrictions placed on in dining capacity, And this bill will give our restaurants that extra tool that when they really have no other option, and they're dependent upon takeout and third-party delivery services to maintain a market for their business, that they are able to be charged a fair fee for that and continue serving the good community that depends upon all of the great food that these restaurants make. And I do want to extend a thank you to the third-party delivery companies who collaborated on this bill and made sure that we could really come up with a responsible framework for how these caps could be implemented and not do damage to a service that has really provided something valuable and helped to keep many restaurants open. So thank you again.
Thank you for navigating, Shannon, all the different stakeholders on this and really getting it through to my desk. There's actually one more bill we'll sign after this too. Senator Rodriguez.
Thank you, Governor. I echo everybody. Thoughts and prayers out to you and your family, and Marlon for a speedy return home. Yes, it was an honor to be a part of this bill and see the collaboration. While many of the bills that we have passed through this special session help, this bill is just another piece to try to ease some of the pains that the restaurant community is experiencing and help them, whether it's, like you said, meet payroll, pay like a utility, something, just everything helps, every piece that we can do. And it was an honor to be a part of this bill, and I look forward to signing it. And I think I can pass it off to Senator Tate for his closing remarks and the bipartisan work.
And after we sign it, we're all going to order food for delivery to celebrate, right?
There you go.
Okay, Senator Tate.
Thank you again, Governor. Again, thank you to Senator Rodriguez and Representative Byrd. Yeah, this is a very interesting bill. Honored to be able to join the bill in the Senate and get the bill out of committee. We're in a unusual time. Restaurants are crippled. This bill kind of provides, in some ways, kind of protection from what I would kind of consider adhesive agreements from some of these vendors for the delivery services. I just, again, we're doing everything we can to help businesses get through to 2021, where I'm optimistic that with the leadership we have in Colorado, it's going to be a great year.
All right, let's sign this one here. Okay. Here we go. And it's now officially the law of Colorado. And we have one additional bill to sign that we're joined by Treasurer Young, Senator Zenzinger, and Representative Arndt. And this is a really important bill that makes something work better, that builds upon some of the really important recovery work of the last legislative session where they established the Climber Fund. This bill changes the way that insurance premiums are paid and collected to make it more effective to sell tax credits to raise the revenue for the Climber Fund, which is really a key part of the Colorado recovery, hundreds of millions of dollars to help our small and middle-sized businesses. This is really one of the cornerstones of last legislature's achievements. Remember, there's the GAP Fund, the very small businesses, Climber Fund, small and medium businesses, up to, I believe, 99 people, up to 100 people, I think, is the target. And this bill will make sure that the sale of the insurance premium tax credits can support the Climber Fund. And I want to thank Representative Arndt and Senator Zenzinger for really helping to figure this out and taking this step, working with the treasurer to get this done. And we'll begin with Representative Arndt.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm going to say it again, Governor. I wish you and your partner well. That's very stressful, and I hope your children are hanging in there. I want to thank the Treasurer's Office for taking, this is exactly the kind of bill I really like to dig into, because it's a little bit technical, but it also really helps, and it's something behind the scenes that's not often seen. And the good work of the Treasurer and his staff to tweak a financial instrument to squeeze every single last dollar that we can for our Climber Fund is much appreciated. So that's all I really want to say. Great sponsors, great stakeholding, no opposition. Everyone got on board right away. And that's all I want to say. So thank you.
Thank you. Senator Zenzinger.
Yes, well, I would agree with Representative Arndt. One of the best aspects about this bill is that it doesn't actually take money from the general fund. It funds this small business loan program in a very creative way. And so it was an honor to be able to make sure that we maximized that creativeness during this very difficult time by making sure that those tax credits are as attractive as possible. And without the fixes that we did to this bill, they still would have gone out to market and whatnot, but they wouldn't have been as attractive, and we wouldn't have been able to get as many funds, as much money into this fund as possible for our small businesses to be able to utilize. So this was a quick and fast bill. We passed it unanimously, I think, in both chambers, and even in the Senate, it went on our consent calendar. So it was just yeses all around. And I want to thank the good work of the stakeholders that came together to make this happen, and in particular, the Treasurer's Office for really highlighting this problem and the timing of this problem and how critical it was that we fix it during the special session. So thank you.
Thank you. And a lot of the technical work, we owe a debt of gratitude to our treasurer, Dave Young, and I'll turn it over to Dave. I saw Dave a moment ago. Are you with us, Dave? Nope, we can't hear you. Dave? We can see you.
I can see him, but I don't yet.
Well, while he's working, we're also joined by our Lieutenant Governor, Diane Primavera. So she'll say a few words. She had some technical difficulties earlier. I think she's with us, and then we'll try Dave Young again. Diane?
Thank you, Governor, and I apologize for not being on at the beginning. I did have some technical issues, but I wanted to thank you, and I really want to thank the legislators and community members here today. I know how hard everybody works during our regular session, and then to add a special session. I really appreciate the extra work that went into passing these important bills. As we know, the COVID-19 pandemic has imposed incredible challenges for our small businesses and for those that work in our communities, having lost a lot of jobs in the process. But I also know that our small businesses and communities have been ingenious in their efforts to respond, and the bills that will be signed today will give them additional resources to weather the storm, we hope. Small businesses support healthy communities. They create opportunities. They provide services. They entertain us. They foster rich culture and invest in our community connection. So we know that when our small businesses thrive, Coloradoans thrive as well. So I'm especially proud to see funding dedicated to the Minority Business Office Strategic Fund. Many of you know I chair the Colorado Commission of Indian Affairs, whose work focuses on positively impacting the lives of Colorado's American Indians and Alaska Natives and communities statewide. So I'm proud to see legislation that will help support the hundreds of American Indian and Alaska Native businesses across our state. So thank you again to the legislators here today for signing these bills. I'm glad that you're healthy and are able to sign, Governor. They will provide additional resources to create a Colorado for all and protect health and well-being across our state. So now I'll turn it back to the governor and maybe to Dave Young.
Okay, thank you for your work, Dan Primavera. And again, thank you to all of our legislators for coming in the state's time of need. And I know that it was not without its own risk to you. And the legislature took every precaution they could, and you were safe. But everything has a risk, and I want to really applaud the legislature for saying, you know what, we've got to do the people's business. We've got to do what we can with what we have to make it easier for individuals, for small businesses, and really a really great bipartisan success that I hope our nation and our national Congress can learn from and come together around a larger package. Dave Young, are you with us, Treasurer?
Well, I'm with you. Can you hear me, Governor?
Yes, we can, and we can see you.
All right. I certainly apologize for the technical difficulties, and also let me offer my best wishes to the first gentleman and to you for a speedy recovery. So I know that the other sponsors have talked about this, and you've talked very eloquently about the Climber program, but it's really an important program, and we're getting ready to launch that program here at the end of the month and beginning of January. For those that aren't familiar, the Climber program is focused on businesses in every county across the state with 5 to 99 employees, with special attention to women-owned and minority-owned and veteran-owned businesses. And so the Climber Oversight Board has been working very hard since the end of July to get every piece of the puzzle together so that we can effectively launch this program. Governor, we appreciate your work and the help in fundraising on this as well. But we, the board, ran into a problem with the Colorado statutes around our tax credits, and that's a key aspect of this Climber fundraising effort. So the statutory fix that House Bill 1006 provides will allow us to get the best possible deal for our small businesses and save taxpayers millions of dollars in the process when Treasury sells tax credits in about 10 days as part of the fundraising effort for Climber. So my thanks to our great bill sponsors, Rep. Arndt, Senator Zinzinger, and to the stakeholders, the Division of Insurance, CHAFA, and the representatives of the insurance sector. We're really working hard and working together to make this bill happen and get it through the special session. And Governor, thank you for signing the bill.
All right, let's get this signed so we can get this money raised for all of our small and medium-sized businesses. Can we see it? Okay, here we go. This is a new way to sign bills. It's official, the laws are official, and I want to thank all of the sponsors for their hard work, the treasurer, lieutenant governor, everybody. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe, stay healthy, wear a mask, avoid social gatherings with others, keep your distance, wash your hands regularly.